Welcome to Duty.
Hi, my name is Chris and this is Battle Nonsense. Today I want to show you a design concept that I've been working on for the last week, which is part of my Battlefield 1982 project. But I think that the intro might give that away already. So in this concept I've tried to build a deploy screen that provides the player with all the information and the flexibility he needs to adapt to the changing situations on the battlefield. The concept is all about the functionality, and while I gave my best to create a design that looks nice, it's by no means a template that you could take and directly apply to a game. It's really all about showcasing the different functions and features that I included. I also want to make clear that it's designed to be used with the mouse. I have not tried to make it work with both the mouse and the controller, because for some insane reason I believe that everyone who buys a product for full price has the right to get something that has been fully optimized for his platform. When you use the same graphical user interface on console and PC, then this is like supporting Rush and Conquest on the same map. You will end up with something that works really good on just one platform, or you get something that does not feel right on any of the platforms. Sure, it's more work to create different menus for every system, but in the end it's my belief that we all paid for that kind of optimization. So with that out of the way, we can now have a look at my concept. The top center element is designed like a classic scoreboard, and the reason why I made it so big is because I wanted to catch the player's attention and make him aware of the current state of the game, which is one of many measures to steer the player towards playing the objective. Inside of this element you also see how many tickets the teams have left, who is in control of the objectives, and how much time is left until the round ends. You might also notice these two different looking objective icons here. These are the main bases that can also be captured, as I chose Conquest Double Assault for this concept. And if you wonder why the US fight against the NATO, that's because of the fictional Cold War scenario in Battlefield 1982 that I've not quite talked about yet. The next element shows you how many players the teams have and if they are balanced. If the other team has less players, then you surely want to change that because you are a good Battlefield player. So to switch teams you don't have to go to a different menu, just click at the tab of the team you want to switch to. This tab design continues with the classes and chain of command. Here inside the classes section you can select the class you want to spawn with. You can also choose from different loadouts that you can create for every class. It's also possible to choose a custom name for your loadout, as well as custom names for your weapons, which I explained in my customization video. Another important info that you see here is how many players in your team or squad already use that class. In this example here I am not part of a squad, which is why I only see one number here. Then we have the map where I can select where I want to spawn, and the deploy button will show me the name of that spawn point that I have selected to avoid that I spawn on the wrong one by accident. If you don't want to use the deploy button, then you can also just double click on the spawn point to go there immediately. The center element shows me my squad, but since I'm not part of one, it reminds me to join a squad, because that's how Battlefield is meant to be played. Below the squad section we then have the video feed which shows us the spawn point that I have selected. So that info helps me to decide if I really want to spawn there or if I should choose a different one. Then we have the weather forecast window, which is linked to the dynamic weather and daylight system that I've not talked about yet. There will be a separate design concept video about this feature, but it's quite similar to what you might have seen in racing games. So my idea is that the map designer can define that the battle on the map takes place in example between 6 AM and 9 PM. He could also select the weather conditions that are allowed on this map and select one that the system has to prefer. Then the server will choose the weather condition or conditions, as well as the daytime at which the round will begin. So in this example the round could then begin at 6 AM, which means that the city lights would still be on, and as the sun rises these lights would then get turned off. The round could also begin with heavy rain and then 10 minutes later the rain could slowly stop. Or you start with sunshine and then it begins to rain. All of that is dynamic and not scripted. Some of the stronger weather effects like heavy rain or fog can have an impact on your gameplay, but the focus of this feature is to breathe life in otherwise static maps. And the weather forecast window in the deploy screen allows you to see that upcoming weather change, but it won't tell you everything. In the next example I'm now a squad member, and so I can see the name of my squad, the current order, the names and ranks of my squad leader and squad members, as well as who of them is dead and who is alive. In the loadout section we can now also see how many of my squad members use a specific class, which makes it a bit easier for me to select the class that our squad needs the most. So as a lone wolf or squad member, you can select any of the classes from the deployable submenu. When you become a commander, squad leader or pilot, then the game will automatically assign the proper special class to you. If you have never heard of these special classes, then you should have a look at the description of this video where you will find a link to my class design which explains that in detail. So now that I'm a squad leader, I'm also able to create different loadouts if I want to. I can see the name of my squad and that I should give an order because my squad does not have any at the moment. So that's pretty much everything that there is to say about the classes section. Now let's have a look at the chain of command tab. This is what I see when I'm not part of a squad. I can apply to become the commander, I could join squad 1 or 3, or I could lead my own squad. When I become a squad member, then I have the option to leave the squad. I can also try to get rid of a bad squad leader with the mutiny button, and I can mute a squad member if I want to. So let's say that I pressed the mutiny button and my squad members voted to remove that player from his position. This will then make me the new squad leader. Now I have the option to leave the squad completely or just resign as a squad leader, which would then cause that another member replaces me. I can also kick players from my squad, and in the case that my squad has room for more players, the game reminds me to invite some. Now when I click at this little cog icon, then we get to the squad management, where I can change the name of my squad and select if I want to allow others to join or not. When I decide to lock my squad, then I can still invite players, so that can be useful when you are still waiting for one of your friends to join the server and don't want that someone else takes his spot in your squad. What you can also do here is invite additional players to your squad. All that you have to do is click at the invite button next to a player name, and the system will then send an invite to that player. When that player accepts the invite, then the squad leader will get a notification and that player automatically becomes a member of his squad. So that's pretty much everything that there is to say about my deploy screen concept. It won't win any design award, but as I said in the beginning of this video, it's not meant as a template that you can just take and use in a game. My goal was to come up with a design that brings back the functionality that we already had in the Refractor engine Battlefield games and to add more flexibility so that players can quickly adapt to the changing situations on the battlefield. In my next Battlefield 1982 video I will then talk about the dynamic weather and daytime system, and in the meantime I would like to hear from you what you think about my deploy screen concept. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like, subscribe for more, and I hope to see you next time. Until then, have a nice day and take care. My name is Chris and this was Battle Nonsense.